we've prepared an interview for Bree, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Bree Paczki. I am here this year with a program called Fulbright. So it's a program that works between the US government and the Czech government to send students kind of so we can learn more about each other's culture and help our governments get along together better. So I am from the United States and from Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's a city of about 100,000 people. Not a whole lot to do there, but I'm excited to be here this year.
Okay, that's nice. All right, so let's start with the questions. The first one, how was it like growing up in the States?
Where I grew up, like I said, it's 100,000 people, but it feels much smaller than that. So I would say it doesn't feel a whole lot different than being here. But obviously there's some big differences about like the education system,
For sure.
Yes, the different activities that we do. So growing up, I really loved school. So I loved going to school. Yes.
That's surprising. Actually, not really.
Yes. But outside of school, I also did a ton of activities. So I played soccer and basketball growing up. And then I also did a lot of performing. So I love to sing and I did musicals, stuff like that. So it was very busy.
So you had a very productive childhood.
Yes, very busy, a little bit, not much free time, so it's been a big adjustment, yes.
All right, let's move on.
What were your first impressions on the Czech Republic that were different from the United States?
Honestly, before I came, I did not do a lot of research on the Czech Republic, so I didn't really have any expectations, but so far I would say just the way that cities are set up are a bit different, so it's really cool to see all the historic buildings, to be able to walk everywhere. That's really nice. Obviously, the language is a little bit of a barrier for me, but I'm trying to learn, and hopefully we can get there, so yes.
Right. Were there any things that shocked you when you first moved abroad?
This is kind of a silly thing, but the thing that's been the hardest for me since being here is grocery shopping.
Okay, that's surprising.
That might sound weird, but it's just, in the US, I feel like we have, things are set up a lot different and we have a lot of different products. So just like going to the grocery store takes me a whole hour and I'm used to it just being very quick. And for several weeks, I could not find peanut butter and that was a big struggle for me.
We don't really have peanut butter here, like in many stores.
Yes, I did finally found it, so that is good. But yes, some things like that have been a little bit tricky, and then getting used to transport and stuff. But so far, it's been a good adjustment.
All right.
What were the biggest differences in the education system?
In the education system. So I would say like primary school is pretty similar, but in high school, we don't get to choose what kind of high school we go to. It's just you go to the school that's closest to where you live. So my high school is more like a gymnasium here, where we just have a general education. And then what I've noticed from talking to all of you students is that we have a lot more homework in the US. So usually every day I would have like 3 or 4 hours. So that's a big difference. Maybe it would be better here, but that's one thing. And then the other I would say is that at school we have a lot more activities and things you can do after school, like sports.
You also have much bigger schools, right?
Yes. The high school I went to was like 2,000 students, so much bigger, but it kind of depends where you live.
Okay. Have you been to any interesting places?
Yes, I have been traveling kind of every weekend, but in Bruntal, I was able to visit the castle, which was really cool, and it was super pretty in there. I was able to go to Český last weekend for St. Wenceslas Festival. That was fun. And what else? I've gone many places to Olomouc, but I'm excited to explore more around here.
Okay, how long are you going to stay here, if you know?
Yes, I will be here until like the end of June, so for 9 more months.
All right.
Yes.
You have a long time to explore.
Yes, yes.
Since you have came here, what has been your favorite Czech food that you have tried?
Czech food. I have really liked all of the stuff in the canteen, but probably my favorite Czech food, I think, is goulash. I understand that there's many different kinds, so I don't know which one I had, but it was very good.
All right. So I'm sure every American has like an expectation of what Europe is.
Mm-hmm.
What was your expectation and how it turned out?
Mm-hmm. So I have lived abroad before. I lived in Barcelona for a couple of months, and that's obviously very different, but I think the expectation is just that life moves a little bit more slowly, and you can kind of enjoy things a bit more, be more active, and maybe not have to worry about work as much. Still do your work, but it doesn't consume everything.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
What were you most shocked about when you were first talking to Czech people and students?
Mm-hmm. I would say with students, maybe it's because you guys are a little bit nervous to speak English, which I totally understand. But in the US, I feel like people want to participate a lot in class, but sometimes I ask a question and it's silent for a little bit, but then we can eventually get people to participate. So maybe people are a little bit more shy than in the US. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I'd say here it depends on class to class.
Yes, that's
because,
definitely.
Like, for example, the IT students, they're quiet most of the time.
Yes.
Right. Have you worked, when you were abroad in Barcelona, have you worked in education there?
I did not. I was just doing like a study experience there. So I was just attending university classes and I didn't work with students there. Mm-mm.
Right.
Have there been any situations where you weren't able to speak to someone due to the language barrier?
Yes. Last weekend when I was coming back from Český Krumlov, I booked a train for the wrong day and I didn't notice. So the person checking my tickets was trying to explain that to me, but obviously I didn't understand and she couldn't understand me. So it took us a long time to figure it out. But eventually we got there using Google Translate and some other people on the train to help.
Yeah.
Yes.
And while you're here, is there anything you'd like to really experience
Mm-hmm.
or do?
I think in the Czech Republic, like music is kind of a really big thing. And when I was growing up, that was a huge part of my life, but I haven't been able to do it for a while when I was in university. So I'm really excited to experience that, go to concerts. I'm also like kind of trying to practice with the choir. So I think that'll be cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, what are your like favorite activities to do while you're here on the weekend, other than traveling?
Yes. Other than traveling, I love to cook. So I'm hoping to learn how to cook some Czech dishes. And then also, I don't love it yet, but I'm training for a half marathon. So I've been doing a lot of running, but hopefully I will learn to enjoy it soon.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Yes.
Why did you decide to join the Fulbright Commission?
Mm-hmm. I really wanted to have an experience abroad where I wasn't in my element. So when I was in Spain, I speak Spanish, so it was a lot easier for me to get around. So this kind of forces me to learn more about a culture and push myself outside of my comfort zone to try something else. And then also, I'm really interested in education and education policy, so to kind of learn about a different system and maybe some things that we could apply in the US or either way to kind of improve the way students can learn.
And do you think you're going to bring a piece of Czech culture along with you back to the US?
I hope so, yes.
Do you think it will be a good idea for you to work in education for the long term, as like a teacher or a professor?
Yes, I'm hoping to start my PhD next year and then eventually be a professor. So
being like a professor is like your dream job?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, that's very nice.
Yes.
There aren't like many people left nowadays that actually want to teach, which is surprising.
Yes, it's definitely hard, and I have so much respect for all the people who do it. But
yeah, it's hard to do.
Yes, it has a big impact, so.
About the Fulbright Commission,
Mm-hmm.
how do they support you when you're abroad? Like, do you get any financial or housing?
Yes, so they do provide us with a monthly stipend, kind of to cover all of our costs, so helps us pay for housing, for food, all of those types of things. And then they also have kind of people in Prague who, if we have any questions that we need answered, if we need some support, they can provide that. And then also there's, I think, 22 other students doing like the same thing that I'm doing right now. So we can kind of help each other come up with lessons and all of that kind of stuff.
So there are 22 other people from the Fulbright Commission in Czechia right now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it's actually a pretty large program?
It's a pretty large one, especially compared to other countries, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there any tips and tricks you want to share to other international students?
I would say just don't be afraid to try new things, and you probably will be a little bit uncomfortable at first, especially if you don't speak the language, but it's really fun to get to experience new things, and you might find something that you never even knew existed that you love. So
what is like an example of something that you never knew existed?
Yes. I was able to try out a new sport this week called Ringo. We do not have that in the United States, and I've only done it once, but so far it's really fun to do. So, yes.
Right. So this is a question that will, like, a lot of Czechs can relate to.
Okay.
How do you like kofola, if you had it?
What was that?
There's like a drink called kofola here.
Oh, kofola.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I haven't had the original one. I only had the lemon flavored one. And I would say, I don't know why this is, but I had it with ice first because we're Americans and we have to have ice with our drinks. Okay, good.
It's just people prefer like ice cold, the drink itself being ice cold without ice.
Yes.
It's more common.
Yes. I put it with ice, and for some reason it tasted different than when I just drank it out of the bottle, so I liked it without the ice better.
Yeah, the ice sort of dilutes it sometimes.
Yes,
yeah.
But it's pretty similar to Coke, I would say. Not exactly the same.
Similar, I guess.
Yes.
If you had to describe Czech people in 3 words, what words would those be?
That's tricky. My experience is they have been welcoming, curious maybe, and funny we'll go with.
All right, I think that's it for today. It was an amazing time with you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And we thank you for having us.
Of course, thank you.